Two, one.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And welcome into the Computer America Show. Have a great program planned for you tonight. Let's see. Chat room is filling up. In the second hour, we're going to have computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. And in this first hour, we're going to we actually have a very interesting topic tonight.
Oh, and also in the second hour, Titan X review.
The Titan X review? Really? Oh, yes. Oh, that's right. We're going to talk about, you got the Titan. That's right. You got the Titan X. And we certainly want to hear about that. Can you just go a sneak? Do you like it? Love it? What?
You know, I've I really want to save it for the second hour, but what I will say about it is I have yet to hit the ceiling on this thing. It's so hard to stress test when the thing just kind of shrugs off everything I put on it. So it's performing admirably.
All right. Well, that's good to hear, and I'm looking forward to hearing your review of that. And we'll do that before we do our computer news. So basically that was the weekend. In other words, I wasn't saying anything interesting happening. Obviously, you got the Titan X card, and you've been checking it out, and we are going to benefit from Ben's review because he is one of the consummate gamers here in the Computer America staff. I mean, he loves games, and we're certainly going to hear all about it. And also, we have some exciting plans about using that card and getting it installed. Maybe upgrading the computer from Origin PC. A lot of interesting things coming up. And the other thing to mention is that we have our 3 winners for our Logitech contest. Yes, we do. We're going to announce them probably in the second hour of the show. And we also have started the Logitech contest up again. Yep. So all that is happening here on the program. The thing is that because of everything that's been going on today, I haven't updated the website, but that's okay. You can go ahead and enter in the contest. We'll get that up. We'll get that updated after tonight's show. Everything, all the dates will be current on there as well. But we'll be announcing the winners, and hopefully one of them is you. Okay, and if not, there's always next time. Okay. All right. Well, that being said, I have a special interest on tonight's show. I like movies. We all know I like movies, and I like them. And one of them that
Craig likes movies, and I like pills. So we're gonna find a nice cross section here.
Well, yeah. The thing is, the movie. One of the movies that I really like. I mean, it's not my favorite all-time movie, but I have to say it was very. And I've actually watched it a number of times over. I like Bradley Cooper, the actor. And many of his movies, not all of them, but a lot of his movies I have enjoyed. And he did a movie called Limitless. And this is a movie in where Bradley Cooper, he's a writer, but he's having difficulty in writing anything. And basically his life is in a mess and everything. And not to go through the whole plot, but he's introduced through a friend of his to this experimental drug called NZT. And this drug basically, the story is that they've located certain receptors in the brain that when it comes to intelligence, and what this does is supposedly unlocks his intelligence, and he becomes very, very smart and becomes a successful writer, and then he becomes a successful politician.
While all at the same time dumbing down the audience. Very
Well,
intriguing movie.
I don't think so. And, we're going to talk about this because our guest tonight is from a company called Nootrobox. Okay? And they have something, well, they're going to talk about something called nootropics. And nootropics describes a broad classification of drugs or compounds with cognitive enhancing properties with minimal side effects appropriate for long-term use. The scientific nomenclature for smart drugs. Okay, now many people take supplements to maximize their physical attributes and performance. Cognitive supplements, however, are far less common and far less understood. So our guest this hour believes the gains of supplementing cognitivity can be far greater and far more rewarding while being just as safe, if not safer. So I asked the question, are we going to be talking about the next NZT? Or if you've seen the movie? And if you haven't seen the movie with Bradley Cooper, you really should see it. Joining us to explain further is the founder and CEO of Nootrobox, Jeffrey Wu. Jeff, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
Good. Thanks, Craig, for hosting. Great to see you guys.
So let me see. Are your eyes glowing like in the movie? No. Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, again, and as I said, if people haven't seen the movie, you really should. I was hoping that you would, but I found the movie really intriguing, and but we're going to get to that. Let's back up for a moment here and talk a little bit. I kind of described nootropics, but why don't you, in your own terms, for our listeners, describe what are nootropics?
Yeah. So I would sort of break it down to, humans over the span of history have always sort of looked to sort of master their surroundings and increase their control over the environment, manipulate their environment. And a big part of that has been, building tools, and I think computer technology is just one manifestation of building out tools. Uh-huh. Another route of that is ingesting compounds or, improving their inherent abilities. And, there's tribes and Aztec warriors who would chew coca leaves, the base compounds of cocaine to get really amped up for war. I mean, there's Ethiopian hunter-gatherers who would mix coffee beans with lard for energy across long-distance hunts. And we really look at nootropics as, a direct sort of modern ancestor of those base sort of human needs and desires. So yeah, to put it simply, smart drugs, things that you eat or consume or ingest that increase your memory, increase your focus, increase your attention, and have minimal side effects. Things that aren't necessarily just straight up amphetamines or straight cognitive enhancers that might have sort of long-term negative effects.
I mean, the only thing before the movie, I know of things like ginkgo biloba, supposed to improve your memory. Would that be something that comes under that label, or is that something else?
Yeah, I mean, I think actually ginkgo is actually one of the worst, research around it. Funnily enough, but it's definitely associated with increasing memory. It's definitely a very popular herb that people use. And I would say that nootropics can be broken down into broad categories, right? You have nootropics that include herbs, nootropics that include sort of off-the-shelf dietary supplements, nootropics that include pharmaceuticals that you need a prescription for, and then nootropics can also include substances that are considered what they call research chemicals or unregulated by any regulatory body. And hobbyists and researchers have been sort of mixing, matching, consuming, dog fooding, all of these types of categories of nootropics on themselves, on small samples size, test subjects, and on animals.
All right.
This is all sounding very safe right out the bat, so I like where this is going.
No, I mean, I think that it definitely, doesn't, I'm not remiss of the fact that, yeah, like when people think about, cognitive enhancers, yeah, it sounds a little bit crazy, but I think it just, actually, if you sort of look at human consumption of supplements and consumption of just diet, it's actually not that crazy. You know, people have used recreational drugs, alcohol, all you name it, to affect their their mental states. America in Western civilization is actually one of the highest usage rates of sort of antidepressants, SSRIs. So I think Americans and people in general are almost open and accepting of just chemicals that alter mental state at this point. Um, People, sort of starting in the 20th century, have started taking protein powder, creatine, hormones, steroids to enhance physical performance, and that's sort of well understood and well accepted. And there's not that crazy to imagine that there are substances and compounds that increase mental capacity, not just in a negative or hallucinogenic way, but also in a positive way as well.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that leaps out to me is that, our diets have changed as, just as a society, our diets have changed drastically over the last 40, 50, 60, and then if you look back 1,000 years, 2,000 years, it's changed so much, so fast, and, the human body, evolution, doesn't really happen that fast. The changing of diet does not exactly mean that it's, because you're eating the new Doritos Loco Taco from Taco Bell, doesn't mean you're going to get all the vitamins and nutrients that you're gonna need throughout your day or week or even a year. People are definitely they're things are changing around us, and we feel okay, but I know at the same time that all these health problems that people are throwing pills at, they really do come down to a lack of certain nutrients and stuff like that, and that's where supplements, I think, can really come in and play a factor, because at the end of the day, you know that you're not eating enough kale that a person should. You should eat a lot of kale. I personally eat no kale, and I believe I'm pretty typical for an average American. But what like where do you get your science from? Do you review journals and then say, okay, and we're going to respond to someone else's research, or do you do your own research? Where do you get ideas for new supplements?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. We defer to the giants of the space that are doing randomized control studies on these different compounds. So definitely, when we first sort of started Nootrobox, we did a very thorough sort of literature review of all the science out there, all the different journal articles, and just really sort of culled together what works, what isn't BS, and what is interesting, what is has a lot of potential. And I would also say that there's actually a lot of online communities on Reddit, on Launch City, these different forums where people have been, hobbyists over the last 10, 15 years have been literally sourcing research chemicals and supplements, some, including like off-label Russian Alzheimer drugs, importing them, kind of gray market into the States, and eating them, and reporting, battle reports of how they felt, and reporting, their NBAC or their memory test results. So definitely drew a lot of inspiration from, sort of the community sort of N=1 sample size research, in addition to the clinicals run by academics and professional researchers. And that started the core that, hey, there's something here, right? Like there's some interesting stuff, interesting potential, and we've been able to build out a community and a product and a brand that really speaks to that. And we're actually very excited to start doing our own clinicals. I think that's a huge step up in this entire space. I think, frankly, the supplement space is super shady. I think it's a really bad reputation, and sort of well deserved. I don't know if you guys have heard, but back a couple months ago in February, the Attorney General of New York actually recalled supplements from GNC, Walmart, Target, sort of all your big box, big name retailers, and pulled them off the shelves because they didn't contain actual the stuff that was on the label. So yeah, I mean, I think it's basically we want to push the industry forward by not just saying selling what we're selling, but also doing research and studies that actually push the science forward. And we're working with researchers at Emory University in Atlanta, actually, and we're hopefully looking to publish results, in the next few months.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I really wish that our webmaster, executive producer, Aaron, he's actually taking or about to go get his doctorate in chemistry. So I kind of wish he was here to kind of wax you know chem chemicals, whatever. Anyways, what's your background? Because when you think of a tech startup, people don't immediately leap to biohacking. They don't leap to supplements. Maybe a new smartphone, maybe a new app, maybe a new gadget, gizmo, what have you. What's your background that kind of led you to say, okay, I can combine these two things that aren't really being combined?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely sort of came from the tech computer science side of the world. Did my undergraduate degree at Stanford studying computer science. Was really into distributed systems research. Worked with some of the best researchers and professors at Stanford in that space. And was very much building a company, and I actually started a company out of Stanford. Applying some of that technology to really battery efficient location sharing. So we had a company that built apps that would, this was like 2, 3 years ago, where GPS tracking on your phone was still very much taxing on the battery life on your iPhone or your Android. And we had some clever algorithms to figure out how to best poll and best sort of predict your movements. So we get sort of 10x the amount of data with sort of minimal battery drain, which is really exciting. But yeah, I mean, I think what brought me to the realm of biohacking and nootropics was a couple just broad trends. I think one, something that's nootropics is, I think that promises is personally very interesting. I think there's definitely a desire in everyone to just improve themselves, be better versions of themselves, and sort of see what they can do in the world. So I think I definitely had that sort of personal motivation to see, hey, this stuff sounds interesting. This area is interesting. I'm curious to learn more. And the second part is sort of just seeing from an entrepreneurial perspective, understanding that like, hey, if you sort of believe in the thesis that Silicon Valley or software is eating up the world, in the sense that every industry is going to be more and more sort of taken over by sort of software-enabled companies. There's a great opportunity in the supplement space, which has been sort of stagnant for the last 50 years. You can see comparables, some e-commerce companies like Warby Parker who are doing really cool things for eyeglasses, or Dollar Shave Club. You might have seen the really funny commercial of them doing an e-commerce box for razors.
Yeah.
And we very much see ourselves in that vein of really just sort of transforming the supplements industry. That's something that makes sense for the 21st century, the modern lifestyle. So I think from the sort of the into the space, I think is a combination of I think there's a lot of potential in the nootropics space, and the potential to help everyone really be the best versions of themselves, and from sort of like the macro trend around how commerce is being done.
Yeah, I think there's a definite there's a niche there that isn't really it's starting to form. It's getting there. Hopefully you stepping in is really gonna kind of flesh it out. But I'm big into computer gaming and that kind of thing. Esports is up and coming in the country. It's been around the world for a while now. And when you think about fitness, when you think about marathons, what have you, there's so many legal supplements. There's so many unproven or untested supplements. There's so many things about testosterone, steroids, what have you. There's that kind of thing, and none of that would really apply to the average computer user who maybe wants to get better at esports, who wants to be more focused at work, who wants to whatever it can help you. Steroids aren't really going to help you. You can be the Hulk in front of a computer, but you're not really going to think clear. So I think there's because right now, unfortunately, I know from experience that one of the best forms of supplements for computer, for gamers is I want to say Ritalin. It's something that really helps you focus and really helps you. Unfortunately, that comes with side effects that I don't think that they really are aware of, and they're kind of trading off current
Yeah, you don't want to eat ADHD pills, right?
yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
overkill.
but I think at the same time, like they're trading off, side effects and future, complications with, just that immediate, stay focused, get better immediately. So I'm glad that Nootropics is really stepping in, and it sounds like you're going to try to offer the gambit of, safe and effective supplements that really, and no one here is doubting that caffeine can perk you up, and other blends of other supplements can really help you focus. You guys are kind of stepping into a new territory that really isn't there, but I'm sure is desperately needed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you hit it on the head on the nail. A lot of sort of these energy supplements, like or energy drinks, right? Like I think a lot of gamers, you kind of pound the Red Bull or pound the Monsters, and sort of you actually when you're actually in flow, if you're at work, you're pumping out lines of code. You actually don't want to have an energy drink where you're super jittery and want to do like cartwheels off of a snowboard ramp. You actually want to actually feel a little bit more relaxed. So, that's where sort of nootropics comes in the sense that it's not just a straight stimulant effect where you're just jacked up. You're a little bit of relaxed. I think the best way to describe the effects of our products is getting into flow state when you're sort of in the zone and keyed in, where you're not like jittery. You're actually kind of relaxed but alert.
Let me ask you this. There, I don't know if you're tied into this, but there is an area of medicine that's called holistic medicine,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like alternative medications. For example, if you're getting leg cramps or muscle cramps, so there's a holistic medicine out there too. That it's like magnesium. It supposedly it makes your muscles, not seize up like that. They're
Right.
anti-anxiety holistic medications. Are you are you tied into any of these holistic medicines, or is this something? Are you in this? Or are you along those lines? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I would say that we're actually orthogonal. We try to, we base our products and our science along Western science, randomized controlled trials, double-blind placebo studies. Not to say that holistic medicine doesn't work. I think it's just a different sort of tradition in terms of how they come up with their treatments. Actually, but I would say that actually some of the treatments in holistic medicine or a yurdic tradition, a Hindu, which a yurdic medicine is a several thousand-year tradition of Hindu medicine, and some of the herbs and compounds found in that have actually been studied in a Western context with double-blind placebo trials and have actually shown a lot of promise. So I would say that, in short, they're orthogonal, but there's definitely compounds which sort of overlap in terms of interest from the holistic side and also from the sort of Western clinical science side.
Well, for example, I'm on a website that sells holistic medicine. They have like thyroid support. This is for, and these are all natural products.
A website?
Yeah, there's a website.
It seems like something you'd have to go to like a shaman for.
No. Now, this is a company that specializes in holistic. And they have joint care essentials, but then they also have Trilix for cold sores. But then they get into things like concentration essentials and all natural support for focus and concentration disorders, hyperactivity, fidgeting. Here's another one for kids' attention. Supports concentration, attention, helps decrease fidgeting and restlessness. And then if you click on it and you want to see what's in it, they have a listing of the different medications that are not medicated, but the things. All of this is over the counter. They're not on the I guess not classified as drugs, the FDA, because it contain no chemicals, synthetics, stimulants, that type of thing. Now, I don't know if this is tied into I know Chinese pharmacology, goes way back. It's one of the first. And if you visit China and you go to the quote-unquote drugstore, it's a lot of times it's not like we see when you walk into a CVS. They have all these different herbs and things and little, and they take it out and they measure it, and it's like, and you may have to make a tea of it or whatever it is. So it's not traditional Western medication, but this is pharmacology that's based on thousands and thousands of years, and I understand. I mean, this is the country that gave us, what's it with the needles? Oh, come on.
Acupuncture.
Acupuncture, right. I mean, and look how long it took for a Western medication to even acknowledge that acupuncture works and does what it does and does it well. Now, are you pulling from or using any of the techniques or medication from what you find in China or places like that? I mean, Asia.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're agnostic to where it comes from, right? I think we care if something works.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, one of the ingredients that we use for one of our products, our rice formula, is Bacopa monnieri, and that actually has a long tradition in Ayurvedic medicine, Hindu/Indian sort of folk traditional medicine. And yeah, and I think the interesting thing there is there's actually a growing body of Western science around doing placebo trials on Bacopa monnieri, and over a 6-week period in several of these papers, the people on Bacopa would actually have an increased working memory capacity against people on placebo. And that means that when there's numbers flashed on a screen in front of these patients, the people on Bacopa actually could memorize and remember and recall more numbers than people on placebo. So absolutely. I mean, I think we obviously, the ancients, the ancestors have probably sort of A/B tested and come across different things that seem to have worked, and now we have, for some of these compounds, science that actually shows that yes, we actually observe and can measure this and quantify this.
We have a question from our chat room, and by the way, if you have a comment or a question or suggestion, give us a call. It's 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. We'll get you on and get you through. Email is live, L-I-V-E, @computeramerica.com. You can also join us in our live interactive chat room from our homepage at computeramerica.com. Just click the chat room /video. On the left-hand side, there's a registration form. You put in your username. That's the name you'll be known by when you go in there. Click the connect button, and your browser will move you into our chat room. And also sharing that same page is our live Computer America video streaming page. That starts up automatically, and you don't have to do anything, because not only can you listen to the show, you can also watch the Computer America show on our live computer video streaming page. And Jeff, by any chance, could you do that? Because you need to hit we're getting a feedback now from you. You need to hit the mute button on the video.
The video will automatically start people, so we know that's an annoying little feature, but we actually find it kind of helpful for what we do here, so sorry about that.
I forgot to tell you the orientation. You need to put it on mute. See the little speaker at the bottom there?
Yes.
Just X that out. No, not your Google Hangouts, but the video stream page, or just take it off that page, that's all.
It sounds good now.
Okay. All right.
I just shut.
Okay. All right, just shut that down. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so anyway, the chat room did ask a question. KY Engineer says he wants to know what your evidence is that something works. He says he needs a double-blind test. I believe you said that you do that.
Well, I don't think you sell anything that can cure double blindness. That's
Yeah. So yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think again, I think we're skeptics by nature at Nootrobox, and so each of the ingredients that we incorporate into what we call stacks, what the hobbyist community calls stacks, which are sort of nootropic blends that each sort of emphasize each other.
I'll tell you what. We're at the bottom of the hour. We're gonna take a break. We got some phone calls coming in too, so stand by and we'll get to those. You're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network, Our guest is Jeffrey Wu. He's with Nootrobox. We're talking about nootropics. We'll talk to him right after this.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? That's so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Here we go again. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the GLLS EdgeLit LED light board. Green LED Lighting Solutions sent us a standard sample EdgeLit LED light board, a small square panel as thin as foam core board. That's stuff you use at science fair exhibits. The sample has a row of 9 LEDs on one side, lighted at 3200 degrees Kelvin, which is a fairly warm white, and on the opposite edge, another 9 at 5300, which is getting close to daylight. It has an opaque back and a grid of small optics within the back face to spread the light from those emitters more or less evenly across the surface. So effectively, it makes the entire square a light source. EdgeLit LED displays derive from the EdgeLit micro lens panels that are backlights to monitors and notebooks and other displays. Most residential applications today tend to be shelf or counter or accent lights, but we expect them to become part of general room lighting once consumers learn about good ways to deploy them. Even the sample panel we got would be effective in lighting a cupboard, under a desk, as a keyboard light, inside a rack cabinet, or other places where thin, flat, and bright offer a welcome combo. Bottom line, the Green LED Lighting Solutions EdgeLit LED Lightboard sample gives us a hands-on, eyes-on view of what we see to be a major coming trend in lighting. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Here, 34 minutes past the hour, Marty Winston with a brand new News Tips Bulletin Review. We are talking to Nootrobox right now, Mr. Jeffrey Wu, and who is the CEO and founder. And we actually have a follow-up in the chat room. I think he was a little bit late because I think we already kind of touched on this, but I think it's worth touching on again because, let's face it, just like you said earlier, supplements and things of this nature, they have a justifiable bad reputation. And so his follow-up was, what is your research? How do you know it works? And then second, what about peer-reviewed research and things like that. And I think that ties into what you said earlier about wanting to do your own research with the company.
Absolutely. Again, I think as we've referenced before, I think um, yeah, I think selling magic pills or just even ingesting our own magic pills is not just in our DNA. So yes, in terms of what we do for science and what we do for making sure that our products are robust is basically in each of our nootropic stacks, each of the independent ingredients have double-blind randomized controlled trials on them, and they show statistical significance on the sample size. So we make sure that we look at all the different science and all the different journal articles out there. We really cull together and collate the stuff that has the most science behind it, that that we have confidence in, and then put them together in a way that sort of accentuates each of their addition sort of effects for a specific use case. And I think I think the next level in terms of robustness is actually doing trials on our specific nootropic blends themselves and our stacks themselves, and that's what we're actually really excited to do in the next few months. As I sort of mentioned earlier on the show, is that we're working with researchers at Emory to do that, and we hope to sort of publish those results in the next couple of months. So, we absolutely understand that, yeah. And as someone that takes my own products and has a lot of friends and customers taking the product, that yes, we're not trying to waste our own time, working on a business that we think, is going to disappear because it doesn't work, right? So absolutely want to get the science and push the science forward in this space.
So we've been talking a lot about the stuff behind it, which is all very important. But let's say the front end of it. Who are you exactly pushing the supplements to? Because it seems like the bodybuilders, the marathon runner, the athlete, even the average school mom with where that vitamin C supplement is, they all have a lot of markets pushing things at them. So who are you really trying to help with these products?
Yeah, I think a lot of our core customers are actually based in the Bay Area, around Silicon Valley. There's definitely sort of a hotbed of nootropics enthusiasts in the tech hub of the world. You guys may have heard of products like Soylent, which is sort of meal replacement shakes. And all these sort of services that help save time and money to do food delivery.
Soylent's that one. It's like a complete replacement for like you drink like 4 or 5 Soylents a day, and then like that's it, right?
Yeah, the meal replacement.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we're definitely sort of in that wheelhouse of new products, new sort of reimagined reimagine sort of products that can increase effectiveness and efficiency in your everyday. So yeah, so basically 20% of our customers are based in the Bay Area. Around actually 10% of them is in San Francisco alone, and then we have around 11% of our customer base out in New York and other 9% in Los Angeles, Southern California. So definitely, our customer base is sort of first-tier cities, definitely with sort of a bent towards male professionals and college students. A lot of .edu email accounts, that we ship product to. So sort of put it in sort of a nut, in very nicely. Yeah, definitely young professionals, sort of 18 to 35 demographic, skews a little bit towards male, sort of in engineering, finance, consulting, sort of high mental pressure sort of work environments, and people that want to sort of get to the next level of efficiency.
Now, you mentioned earlier, you used a term, and I like you that you said biohacking. What do you mean by that? What is biohacking?
Biohacking, it's sort of applying the hacker ethos in the sense of very experimental engineering, sort of first principles approach to computers, but applying that to the human body. There's folks like Tim Ferriss or Dave Asprey, people sort of notorious for doing a bunch of endurance feats or crazy stunts to really push the limits of their own bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So biohacking, I think, sort of encapsulates that sort of community, that sort of ethos.
That you're pushing the limits.
I'm applying the hacker ethos, right? Like when we talk about like computer hackers, not in the sense of like we're going to break into people's bank accounts, but sort of like the Facebook style of hacker, the Dropbox, Silicon Valley sense of hacker, people that will stay up 24 hours and make a really clever app or figure out some really unique algorithm to solve some problem. Applying that sort of creative, a little bit irreverent mindset to human performance.
All right. Well, let me ask you this, because I want to get to some of the. You have a couple of products here. You have two that I see. One of them is called Rise, and the other one is called Sprint. Why don't we talk a little bit about this first one, which is Rise? Give us some insight here as to what this is supposed to. You call this a cognitive supplement. What's in it? What tell us about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have two main product SKUs right now. Rise is designed to be your daily nootropic, essentially the core nutrients and compounds that are good for memory, focus, and energy. And then Sprint was sort of a reaction towards a lot of the feedback that we've gotten from our customer base, in the sense that a lot of people want a bit of a kick in terms of to put it better or for worse, sort of that Adderall/Ritalin effect of in their products. So we saw that in terms of Sprint is designed to be sort of an Adderall, safe Adderall replacement, and Adderall is sort of the drug du jour of college students today, in the sense that there's actually upwards of 25% on different U.S. campuses that people have submitted surveys that they've tried Adderall to get an edge in studying and performing on exams. So we think that Adderall and it's literally a salt of an amphetamine, or basically a unique sort of formulation of how to produce amphetamine, as a product is sort of overkill for daily use / studying. And Sprint is really our reaction, our take on making that effect that people want to really get into high gear for 4 to 6 hours. We put that into sort of a safe, convenient package for our customers.
All right. Well, I'm looking again. I'm getting this from your website here. It says Rise. It says attributes: memory, focus, and energy.
Right.
I'm going to quote from your website. It says Rise is your once or twice daily nootropic designed to enhance your cognitive performance. The ingredients were selected for the individual nootropics benefit that they synergize and stack well together. Their stacking rounds, the benefit of each compound ultimately creates a smooth and clear mental state, like being in flow. Now, I'm looking at here, and the only thing that I recognize is caffeine. Okay, you do have caffeine in there, 50 milligrams of the caffeine. So that is pretty well understood, what caffeine is. But then you have these other two products here, Bacopa and L-theanine. Now, what is Bacopa, and then what is L-theanine?
Right. So Bacopa monnieri was the ayurvedic herb that I mentioned previously, maybe 20 minutes ago.
Right. Yes.
And that's the compound, given a certain bacoside content that has been shown to increase working memory capacity in double-blind randomized control studies. And then L-theanine is an amino acid found in green teas. So when you drink tea, for example, you're actually a lot more mellow than when you drink straight coffee, and that's due to the theanine content in tea. And there's actually a lot of studies and experiments around the optimal ratio of theanine stacked with caffeine compared to caffeine and compared to placebo. And it's been shown that sort of a 2-to-1 ratio of theanine to caffeine, which is sort of 4x the amount of theanine to caffeine found in black and green tea, has been shown to be optimal. So we put together sort of the right optimum balance of caffeine, theanine, and put that in relation to Bacopa.
Okay. And it all fits into one capsule, and you're supposed to take, what, 1 or 2 a day?
So it's designed to be a once daily, but some of our what we call powerhouse customers take sort of 1 in the morning and then 1 supplemented at lunch. Typically, you want to take this with some fat. The Bacopa sort of is absorbed better with some fatty foods in your system.
Okay. And then the other one here that I see on your website is called Sprint. Okay. And
Yes.
again, quoting from your website, attributes, energy, clarity, and flow.
Right.
Conquer exams. I guess we know you're appealing to the students. Deadlines or any mentally demanding task. You suggest 1 capsule with a tall glass of water. It lasts 4 to 6 hours. Okay. Now, again, the things I see in here, some of them are, you have vitamin B12. Okay, you've got 1 milligram of that. Vitamin B6, you got 20 milligrams. And again, you have caffeine, 100 milligrams. So yeah, those are 3 that I know. And you just explained what L-theanine is. You got 200 milligrams of it. Then you have inositol, which I've seen somewhere, inositol. What is inositol? I've seen that before. And then the other one is the glucuronolactone.
Glucuronolactone.
Yeah, okay, lada. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what are those 2? Inositol, I remember seeing. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, go ahead. What is
Yeah, inositol is actually found in low quantities in some energy drinks, but it's actually found in too low of a quantity to be shown to be effective in clinical trials. And the point of inositol is actually a nervous system enhancer. Actually, another thing that sort of helps you get into a relaxed state. And glucuronolactone actually helps bind the toxins that build up in your system. So there's been some study around glucuronolactone sort of being used as a detox agent. Another compound sort of found in some energy drinks, but unfortunately at too low of a active dose to be shown to be effective. And the idea there is to sort of, if you're working super hard and you have all these things flowing, you want to sort of clear out the toxins in your body while you're working.
Why did you select these particular ingredients for both these products? I mean, what was the motivation behind?
Did you have like lab monkeys, and by lab monkeys I mean interns, and like did you have doing puzzles?
So we pulled together the stacks from a couple different inspirations. So one, we definitely so again, there's a bunch of online communities that have been sort of self-experimenting and writing reports essentially of their own N=1 sample size trials, and coming up with sort of community-generated, community thumbs up approved sort of stacks and things that pair well together. So we drew inspiration from what the hobbyist community, the nootropics community, has really sort of tested on themselves to be shown to be effective combinations. And then we looked at each of the individual effects and also, looked at them and sort of pieced them together and then sort of experimented with small batches. And now we're going to do sort of full-blown, research journal / research conference, approvable research to really show the effectiveness of why, what we're doing is superior.
Now you have these 2 products. Are these are your first 2 products? Do you plan to have others coming out soon, or are you gonna, or is it just gonna be focused on these 2?
Yeah. So Rise was actually our flagship product. We started selling that about 9 months ago, and then Sprint, we actually did a crowdfunding campaign that actually closed at 170+% funded, and actually are starting to ship this week. So Sprint is basically just almost just coming off the line. It's a very new product, and we definitely are looking at doing R&D on additional product lines. I mean, I think there's different nootropic effects for different use cases. So definitely very exciting stuff out there that we're looking to iterate on.
Well, now again, when you look at these 2, there's one attribute that overlaps both of these products, and that's energy.
Yeah.
You're getting energy. Is the energy coming because they both have caffeine? Is that coming from? Is the energy the caffeine component?
Yes. So I mean, obviously we have well, popular demand is having a non-caffeine version of Rise. So that's something that, as you can anticipate, something that we're working on, and sort of.
You think if you take the caffeine out that you're gonna have a drop? I mean, because obviously caffeine is proven to do exactly what it says it do. Of course, increases your heart rate. I mean, there are some good things and some bad things. I know my wife can't start her day without her morning cup of coffee, and heaven help you if you give her decaffeinated. It's got to be. It's so some people will swear by that and swear at you if you don't get it. But you say you actually have a demand for a non-caffeinated version of this, and how do
Yeah,
you?
I mean, I think you can break out nootropic effects into three broad categories, right? So some of the nootropic effects are sort of short-term boosts, right? That's like sort of your coffee replacement people that sort of want that effect. But actually, other pathways that nootropics work include increasing neurotransmitter levels in your brain that are associated with memory and learning, right? And that is sort of a longer term. That's like a similar pathway of how Bacopa works, right? So, definitely people want to focus on sort of the long-term effects. They don't necessarily need a kick. They want sort of the long-term increases in neurotransmitter levels, etc.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And those now Sprint is going to be available next week. So can you talk a little bit about the ones that are around the corner and what you're going to be aiming at?
Yeah, I mean, I think you sort of anticipated one, having sort of a non-caffeinated, essentially, product line.
Well, didn't you anticipate that happening? You put caffeine, and a lot of people just don't want caffeine. Did you kind of anticipate that, or did it surprise you when people asked you for?
Well, I mean, I gotta imagine the amount of people who don't want a caffeine or want a caffeine-free solution have to be a minority compared to those who are completely okay and know the effects of caffeine.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thought process there was that sort of the caffeine theanine is a very, very well proven and very well understood mechanism, and a very popular mechanism. And yeah, I mean, it definitely sort of as a flagship product makes sense to have that as part of that, part of the product. But I think as we grow out our community, as we grow out our sort of customer base, definitely we want to sort of diversify and capture and add value to all sorts of different people's sort of lifestyles and wants.
But these things are all over the counter. I mean, you don't need a prescription for caffeine. You can buy caffeine. I don't know if you can walk into a CVS and just get caffeine pills, but I assume you can.
You definitely can. Yeah, absolutely.
No dose and things like that. I assume
Mm-hmm.
that exactly. Or of course the energy drinks. Those are certainly readily available too. Some people say you have actually had some negative reactions to those drinks. Especially if you are diabetic or something along those lines, have had some adverse reactions to those products. You mentioned here boosting vasodilation. What boosts the vasodilation in any of these products, or are you not at that point yet?
Yeah, none of these products sort of do that. Typically, some things that dilate blood vessels are more on the pharmaceutical side of things.
Right, that's like blood pressure pills. That will reduce blood pressures or increase blood pressure. I guess they have that foxglove, which makes what is it not digoxin. It's for the heart medication, heart regulation. Comes from foxglove.
Yeah, I mean, or even like male enhancement, quote unquote male enhancement pills, right? Increase blood flow, right? So I mean, I think all sorts of things can affect your bodies in interesting ways. Yeah, I mean, just to refer back to the point in terms of doing things that you can get sort of off the counter. I mean, I think
I was thinking of Digitalis, by the way. That was
okay.
Yeah. So the real question though is, when is Keanu coming out?
Yes. Actually, there's actually a company raised $13 million to do actually you put I guess diodes on your temple and your neck, and sort of beams waveforms into your brain to help calm yourself or energize yourself. So that's actually in Wired magazine, literally like a week or two ago. Yeah, I'd love to build out Keanu where you can download kung fu skills into your brain.
Right.
On the roadmap, coming out next Tuesday. Exclusive launch news here on Computer America.
Exactly, and will truly make you smart. Exactly.
Yes.
How to fly a helicopter. No, I love that movie. But okay, well, but again, back to the world of reality here, and Nootropics. Obviously, this is a. How long has Nootropics been around? I mean, the classification of Nootropics.
Yeah, so the term nootropic was coined by a Romanian doctor, and I mean, I think the desired effects have always sort of been a part of humanity, right? In terms of people want to get smarter, faster, stronger. Mm-hmm. And I think the hobbyist community around sort of sourcing this stuff has really popped up in the last 10, 15 years, sort of in relation to the biohacking community. And I think it's around recently with sort of people more open, the body science getting more robust, people using products like Soylent, that it's really sort of at the peak interest.
I have to ask you this. Now, you're the president and CEO of the company. Do you use any of these products yourself? And have you noticed anything?
Yeah, definitely. What we call in Silicon Valley dog fooding. Definitely eat your own products. And yeah, I mean, I think I hate overselling, but yeah, definitely the stuff works, right? Like.
Now, is it something that you've noticed immediately, or does it take time to build up in your body for it to start working, or is it
so definitely for some of the short-term stuff, right? The caffeine theanine, right? Oral ingestion typically takes 30, 45 minutes to digest and enter your system. Mm-hmm. And then some of the longer-term effects obviously takes more substantial periods of time.
Okay. Well, if you want to see or learn more about Nootropics, you can head over to
and for anyone, this is only available online, right? Like, we can't just walk into a GMC or a CVS and pick it up?
Correct. We're direct-to-consumer e-commerce.
No. So, again, if you want more information to find out or order some of this for yourself, go to computeramerica.com, click on our show notes button, and you'll see today's show, Monday the 13th, and you can see the link there to the program. We actually have a link to the Nootropics to the Nootrobox website, where you can see all of these different products and order them for yourself and give it a try. Jeff, I really appreciate you being here on the show. This is very interesting. Again, it's not NZT, but you're working in the right direction, I would assume.
Yes.
And let me know when you come up with that little clear pill.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for hosting, Craig.
Hey, listen,
pleasure.
Thank you so much for being here. And give us a call. Get in touch with us again in a few months, and let's see how things are going with you. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right. All right. You take care. Have a good evening. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye. Bye, Ben.
All right. There you go. Nootropics, Nootrobox. You can see all these products for yourself. And Nootropics, yeah, exactly. And it's very interesting. We'll certainly help you do better. At least that's what they're claiming. And
like I said before, like there's definitely a market for supplements out there, and athletics and personal development, that kind of thing. There are supplements out the ears, but for people who just sit at a computer all day, you don't need the steroids, you don't need the the creatine, you don't need all that kind of stuff. But there really isn't that much out there helping you right now.
No, that's true. All right, well, coming up in the next hour, we're going to have our 3 winners that we're going to be announcing here on the Computer America show for a Logitech contest. Our new contest is already up. Even though we don't have the proper dates on the webpage, you can go ahead and enter. We'll know it, and then after midnight tonight Eastern time, we'll go ahead and update for the new dates for our Logitech contest. Of course, our show reminder, winner of the week, that's every Friday. You just subscribe to our email newsletter, the show reminder, and you'll get the lineup of all the different shows for the entire week, who's going to be on the program, and from that list of names, you draw a winning name to get a really nice prize from Logitech. All right, coming up too, computer and technology news. Our winners, another news tips bulletin review from Marty Winston, a brand new one. We'll be right back. Stay with us. This is Computer America.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome to Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And welcome into the second hour of the program. Just had Nootrobox on the program, had the company CEO. If you missed any of the programs that we do here on the show, you can always listen to them again. We archive all of our programs at computeramerica.com. And again, look, we're a computer show, but we're also a technology show, and we try to find things that are that are relevant. I mean, not every show has to be about memory and hardware, and I mean, we can, but we try to have a nice variety, a nice sampling of different technologies and medical technology and things like these products from Nootrobox. We just want to let you know that they're out there. And
if you think hard enough, if you come from no matter what background, if you come from medicine, if you come from engineering, if you come from massage therapy, doesn't matter. If you think hard enough and long enough, you can find a way to mix it with technology.
Yep, exactly. Well, the chat room liked the first half, and we're going to continue on. In this hour, we're going to have all of our Logitech winners on the program. We're going to name them all. We'll just do them one every few minutes, and then let's see what else we're going to have. A new news tip bulletin review from Marty Winston that's coming up as well, and we're going to do computer and technology news. I mean, would you take something like that, Ben, to enhance your cognitive abilities?
I'm very skeptical because I think a lot of stuff gets slipped through just because they call it a supplement, and therefore it's not for the same regulation as actual medication, and you can get into trouble there where things can be sold over the counter, but you probably shouldn't be taking them. Well, having actually had the CEO and founder on to discuss it, to see that he's actually taken steps to work with different universities and because you very well know that a company, it takes over like $1 billion to get a new medication or a new supplement pushed through the whole process, and for a tech startup, $1 billion is not feasible by any means. So it was nice to hear that he didn't just say, "Oh, well, we've done all this on our own." No, they're piggybacking on what is other people's research and actually going out and trying to see what works, reading other people's journals. It's nice to see that they're actually piggybacking on other people's work, because if they came on and said, "Oh, we did it all ourselves and we're really, really great," that would be a huge red flag for their product.
Well, the vitamin industry is not much difference. I'm taking a vitamin now that's designed that has some interesting ingredients. One of them is from a red wine, and I'm blocking the name. What is that vitamin from red wine? Red
wineesium.
Resveratrol. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I was close.
Resveratrol. And there's been observations. I don't know if it's been anecdotal or what have you. People who drink one glass of red wine a day have better health.
They say that, but then it's also tied into the fact that, hey, if you're having a glass of wine every night, you're probably more relaxed, less stressed, and therefore less stress on your body. You're probably going to live longer. Like there are things that people do that I think they try to tie them to different supplements, but at the same time, probably aren't the true cause of the effects.
Well, they had the resveratrol, and they've actually tested that, and they've gotten some positive results with that. I mean, I'm taking it every day anyway, and then
Why don't you just have some red wine?
I can have a glass of red wine in the evening. You could exactly, but this is just less. It's just you pop it the pill, and you don't have to worry about it. There are a lot of things like that are products that are supposedly saw palmetto, supposedly supposed to reduce your large prostates, because they say every male is going to get an enlarged prostate, and they things like saw palmetto and some of the ingredients that are in that will reduce that. So they have these multivitamins that are more designed they're more newly designed. This is not one a day, which has all the standard stuff. That they have these a little bit more. And then of course they have them for women, they have them for men, and men who are over 50 and women who are over 50. They have all these different formulations.
You got to hit every single price point. You got to hit every single market.
Right, exactly. So anyway, I take the one for men over 50, and I was surprised to see there was no iron. I mean, I go, iron, poor blood, geritol. You're too young to remember that, but there's no iron, and it's a good thing because iron. They were
yeah, maybe I need a supplement. I seem to not be able to remember things that you say. Probably because it's about 10 years before I was born, but maybe I need a supplement.
Yeah, but evidently iron in your blood is not necessarily always a good thing. So I don't know. But there you go. Anyway,
there you go. No, and we never really truly got into the whole thing about Limitless.
What is it?
Limitless?
Oh, Limitless. Yeah, we never did get into that. But again, it's just a fiction. It's not really a true story. But the point is, it talks about this potential drug that would make you smarter. But we're not talking about hanging around, taking it, after a few weeks, just trace me. Oh, I think I mean, the idea behind this thing was that it would hit you instantaneously, and you would get.
But it's so dumb.
But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. It was.
I know I wouldn't enjoy it because I couldn't turn off, or I couldn't turn it off. I wouldn't be able to suspend my disbelief. It would be, oh, really? So humans just need one pill, and then all of a sudden they're superheroes? It's like, that seems like a pretty useful survival trait coming from an evolutionary standpoint. So I'm glad that the human body naturally hid it behind locked door and key, and the only way to get it is through this psychedelic. So, thank you, body.
It really wasn't like that. I mean, the movie is not like that. He doesn't become a superhero. He just becomes more aware. It allows him to focus better.
You don't think if the human body had the ability to do that, it'd do it naturally, and it wouldn't just wait for a pill? That sounds like a great survival technique to be extremely smart.
They do say that everything that you see from the time you're born is recorded indelibly into your brain. It's just that we don't have the.
That's not true either, because things get rewired, rewritten inside your brain. Different synapses get connected to different ones. That's how you make memories. You learn different things. That's why you lose memory. You would have to, synapses reconnect all the time. That's why you lose memory. You can't. There's no possible way. Well, other than savants, there's really no other way that you remember everything.
Well, they say that it's there. And
who's they? Who are these people that are saying so much, and why do they get to say so much?
You surprised me. You remember things from years ago that I had totally forgotten. You remember them. So.
Yeah, but then I forgot what you said 3 minutes ago. What's your point?
I think it all depends. Look, I find it to be intriguing, and I try to keep an open mind about these topics. And I thought he was a good guest for the hour.
You can do that with Aliens in the Pyramids. Go ahead. Movie starring Bradley Cooper. I'm sorry, great actor. Don't believe any of that crap.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we're about ready to do our news, and I'll do our.
No, wait, wait. Hold up.
Oh yes, of course. You're the Titan X.
Titan X.
All right, so let's tell us about. All right, just to recap, Ben, we had
on the show. We recommend that you go check it out. It's still in our archives. We had NVIDIA on to talk about their Titan X, their latest, most powerful graphics card that they've come. Their most powerful single GPU graphics card. They have a more powerful one, but it is actually just technically two GPUs glued together. So. the most powerful single one. It is crazy impressive. We recommend you go check out the specs. And they were nice enough to send us a copy to send us a unit.
All right, and it arrived and wrapped in bubble and foam and everything, and Ben took it out. And
yeah, unfortunately, it was not in the metal canister with the liquid nitrogen that I thought it was going to arrive in. But presentation aside, it is quite a breathtaking piece of technology on its own. Because like I showed everyone on the air, I think on Friday, this thing is longer than my forearm, and it's a huge honking. Like, if you tried to fit this into a MacBook Air. No, you'd have a better time fitting a MacBook Air inside this thing. It's a hefty piece of
I
equipment.
have to say that when you installed it in your computer, one of the first things I noticed is that the noise level of your computer was virtually non-existent. It was very, very quiet, and I think that was a function of the card. Correct?
Yeah, I'm actually going to pull up my system performance tools right now, and like one of the things I immediately noticed is that before my graphics card, I actually have my old one right here underneath all my delicious trash. This is my old one. Let's see. Let's pull up the Windows Hangouts. This is my old one. It's GTX 560 Ti, GeForce, a couple of generations old, probably about 3 years old at this point. It used to be pretty top of the line. Now it's probably about mid-range. I'm still going to keep it, and I'm going to check that out. Fan action. I'm going to get an SLI cable. SLI is the equivalent to AMD's. Oh, I'm completely blocking it. I would say it's like Fire Force or something like that. It's the system that lets you have multiple GPUs inside your computer. Assuming you have the power and the airflow through your case, you can indeed have two graphics cards in your computer. So I'm keeping the second one for that.
Two different ones too. Two different types.
Two different ones. They have to be SLI compatible, and luckily, pretty much all graphics cards going back on the NVIDIA side at least. All graphics cards going back about 4 years are SLI compatible.
Okay.
So, and Titan X is definitely SLI compatible.
All right.
So, yep, I'm going to do that eventually. But yeah, performance-wise, because I had the lower power graphics card, a lot of the power, or at least a lot of the system resources, were coming from the system RAM and the system CPU, which is perfectly fine. That's why they're there. They're there for resources. But when the Titan X was put in, because it's such a high-powered GPU and it has its own onboard RAM, is able to the computer is able to delegate some of the more of the processes to the graphics card. And because the Titan X is such a, let's face it, beast, it's able to handle it all with ease. Therefore, the CPU doesn't get as hot, the RAM doesn't get as utilized, so plenty of extra room for other processes like other windows and things like that. And therefore, the whole case doesn't get as hot, the fans stay cool. And honestly, since I put in the Titan X, I haven't heard my system cooling fan turn on since. Like, it's I've tried to put it through its paces. Probably my most taxing one that I did was there's a game called City Skylines where you can turn up the detail all the way up. Think of it like SimCity, and I had a pretty big city going, and it was able to render everything in extremely high detail, and it still wouldn't even turn the system fan on. It was crazy how much headroom I still had in terms of resources.
Wow. So obviously you're.
Oh yeah. Sorry. By the way, Star Fortress in the chat room. By the way, Crossfire is the AMD equivalent to SLI.
Okay. All right. So you obviously noticed the difference right away, because when I asked you, you said, "Oh well, I didn't really notice much of a difference."
Yeah. Well, I don't like talking to you, so I just kind of shut it down. No. There's definitely a difference. Definitely took it off the CPU, and unfortunately, the only time, because there are benchmarking tools that you can download and you can get for free, where before my CPU and my GPU were on pretty even ground, and believe me, because my computer is about 3 years old, I tried to go to a benchmarking website. It scored me a 0. Apparently, my hardware was incompatible with their test.
Wow.
So I scored a 0 on that. Second one didn't even bother because I figured, most of my hardware is still the same. But because my CPU is so far behind my GPU now, I have a Core i5, 3.3 gigahertz.
Mhm.
I think it's overclocked to 3.7 gigahertz, and it sounds impressive. It sounds about middle of the road, but because the Titan X is so top of the line, now the bottleneck in my system is my CPU.
So what can you do to fix that?
Uh, get a new CPU. Unfortunately, it's perhaps people who don't build computers or aren't really into the hardware of the computer, they don't know this, but uh, it, your computer is only as strong as its weakest link. If your computer has 4 gigs of RAM and a Titan X and a Core i7, overclocked to 5 gigahertz, that doesn't matter. If you have 4 gigs of RAM, it's still going to be extremely slow because the RAM is your bottleneck. If you have a Core i3 running at 2.0 gigahertz, and everything else is top of the line, that's going to be a bottleneck. Your computer is only as fast as your weakest component. And right now, as great as the Core i5 I have is, it's unfortunately now, thanks to the Titan X, it's now the weak link.
So now on your system, you can upgrade the processor. You don't have to throw the whole thing out, right? I mean, you can upgrade the processor, or you have to get a new motherboard for it.
The motherboard should be okay. That's one of the fun parts of going into building your own computer is you have to make sure that all your parts work with each other, and you have to make sure you have to do your research so you don't buy 2 parts that are incompatible. That's why websites like Origin PC are so great. It's because they do all that footwork for you, and they let you customize it up to a point, and they won't let you make any mistakes like that. Uh, my motherboard should be okay. I have to go check the model again if I just wanted to slap a new processor in. But that's why we kind of hinted at getting a whole new computer where you can marginally upgrade your current PC, and it shouldn't be a problem. But when you start extremely upgrading, like when you go from a uh, GTX 560 Ti to a Titan X, you run the risk of outdating other parts. And that could be my RAM, which is still, I believe, DDR3, and they're on DDR5 now. It could be your motherboard. It could be you could outgrow your power supply. You can't just slap new things in and call it a day. You have to make sure everything works with everything else, and it's all going to play nice. It's one of the fun parts of building a computer. Doesn't sound like it, but hey.
Yep, exactly. All right. So at this point, your Titan X is, and the computer that you have now, you've reached the limit. You can do with the software you have. Have you noticed some speeds improvements with things that the games that you play? Whether you
Yeah, no, all the games that I play, one of the most taxing things that I could probably do is play League of Legends, and League of Legends isn't that graphic intensive, but being able to stream it, and this is what a lot of people are doing nowadays. They're streaming themselves playing the video games and letting other people watch them. And it's very, not only are you playing your game, but you're also recording your game, and then you're uploading the game all at the same, all in real time. And that obviously puts a huge stress on the machine. So I tried doing that, and I was able to get 60 frames per second upload,
Yeah.
real time, and 200 frames per second in game, and all without a single bit of lag. So hardware wise, I mean, this thing, like, if we're looking for some kind of captain's review of should I get it or should I not, um, if you have the money and you're like, hey, let's shoot for the moon, the Titan X, it will do anything and everything you ask of it. Like, there is no, maybe I want to be safe for another 2 or 3 years. The Titan X will be a powerhouse for years to come. Not months like most technology, years to come. This thing is crazy powerful. Should you get it for your old aging machine? No. I would not say. One of the best tips I found when I was looking around SLI, one cool thing that I learned was if you have a desktop PC like I did and you want to get some more performance out of it, here's a cool little trick you can do. Because SLI and Crossfire are so popular and so common nowadays, and a lot of motherboards have room for a second graphics card. What you can do is, what was new 2 years ago? Let's say you have again a GTI 560 or a GTX 560. Let's say you got one of those new 3 years ago and it was top of the line and you love it. But now 3 years down the road, 4 years down the road, it's getting a little slow and you're like, man, this stinks. Try going online and getting the exact same graphics card you have in there now and get a second one. And they get an SLI cable, because in the years after you bought it, the price has come down dramatically. I haven't checked out the price for this particular one that I have, but the price is let's see. I'm actually gonna look it up right now. The graphics card in my hand is only about $100.
Wow.
About $90 for this thing.
And you paid.
And new, it probably was about $400.
Oh, okay.
So get a second one, because they're definitely cheap by now. Your computer can handle it. Get a second one and SLI and get an SLI or Crossfire cable. Get a second one, throw it in, and that should be a moderate boost to your computer. Because then you don't have to get a whole new computer. You just kind of extended the life of your current one for $50, $60, $100. You extended it by another year, because it's going to be very much more powerful with a second graphics card.
Now the Titan X is working with your 1080p monitor, so when you get a 4K monitor, it's still going to be compatible with that. So.
Yeah, I wish I had a view of the back of the thing, because if you can see, this one, it has two. What do you call these?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, those. It has two of those adapters and a mini HDMI port. The NVIDIA or the Titan X has like one of these, like 4 HDMI ports and some mini HDMI ports. Like, it is just chock full. If you have like a 2 or 3 monitor setup, you could plug them all direct. Like, you don't need a splitter. You can plug them all directly into the back of the graphics card. It's crazy impressive.
Wow. Okay.
So to cap it all off, I'm sure we're going to be talking more about it later. But as for the initial weekend of having it, it's crazy good. But unfortunately, I think it will outscale pretty much any computer you put it in, unless you build a computer with it in mind.
Exactly. All right. Well, good. Lots have been learned from Ben's little experience, and some good tips there. So I guess the next move is to get the faster processor for your computer. That'll be the next one.
Yeah, faster processor, more RAM, better RAM, not just more RAM, but better RAM, new motherboard, bigger power supply, that kind of thing. Hey, if you enjoy building a computer, this is all honey to your ears.
Yep, exactly. All right, well, there you have it, the Titan X. Ben gives.
Although the immediate next thing, though, is to get an SLI cable and to put in the second graphics card. Because hey, why have one sitting around when it could be in there, running the OS or something?
But won't when you do that, you say the Titan X already has maxed out your computer. Putting in the graphics card, are you going to see any difference, because you've already exceeded it?
I might not, and at the same time, I might, because hey, why not? It's worst case scenario, I get more, headroom.
Okay.
No harm in that. Never let a computer part sit around when you can put it in.
Okay. All right. There it is. Oh, do you think when you put that other one in that you're going to hear the fans come on again, or
not even, because the amount of heat this will generate is probably going to be negligible next to the Titan X, because the Titan X is probably going to do most of the grunt work, and this is just going to be the cherry on top. Okay,
got it. All right. Well, there you go. There's Ben's review of the Titan X, and we'll continue on with that as more develops and he gets newer components for that. So, And by the way, we've got our Gamer Tuesday coming up tomorrow with Josh Boykin. I'm sure he's going to have some input as well with that too. So looking forward to that. Okay. Oh, and the last recommendation is I talked to Place TV today, and they're suggesting that you get yourself an account on Place TV now that you have a Titan X.
Oh yeah, no, I already have one. You get one linked to your Raptor account.
Good. Okay, so then you're all set. Good. All right. All right. Well, then I think that about does that. I think we're ready for some computer news at this point. Yes.
Yep.
All right. Let's do it. Tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. That's right. Everything at slimwareutilities.com is completely free. You head over there, download all of them. I mean, and keep them, use them, apply them, use them when you need them. It truly does speed up, clean, and optimize your Windows system. We use them here at the Crossman household. We highly recommend it. Download them all. You'll be happy that you did, and you'll thank us for it. slimwareutilities.com. And why don't you pick the first story, Ben, since we're doing this a bit differently now?
Sure. Yeah, this one is from Max and PC, kind of pulling it the ideas from Pulkit Chandna. There we go, from Max and PC. And yeah, PC shipments, they have a record significant quarterly decline.
Oh, why?
Yeah, so apparently the long-term outlook isn't all that bad, though. He says that the PC market squandered the momentum of recent quarters during the latest 3-month period. And why bring this up? Because every year we keep saying it. This is the end. This is the end of the desktop PC. The desktop is gone.
Well,
we say it all the time, and well, as much as we say it, as much as these figures seem to pop up out of nowhere, where it's like, they fell 5.2% in the first quarter in terms of shipping. They only sold about 72 million units.
Mm-hmm.
They said that at the end of the quarter, they're going to sell about 68 million units.
Wow.
So, Craig, I guess, you seem to be at the forefront of the pack and saying that the desktop PC is dead. Long live the all-in-one.
I don't say that necessarily.
You don't say that.
No, but you know what? We're going to have Intel on the show on Wednesday, and even Intel has got some really cool new form factors, including their new NUC device, mini PC, which is an amazing full-blown computer in a tiny little package. We're going to see products like that where you can actually has slots that you can add different peripherals to it, different cards and things. But you couldn't put a Titan X in there. Let's face it. I mean, there's certain limitations. But I think desktops are alive. I think there's just more of the all-in-one PCs because I think the average person just wants to get their computer, plug it in, use it as an appliance, and are not really interested in tinkering with the insides. But there will always be tinkerers, and there will always be people who want to increase their system. And when you get a desktop unit like what you have, I mean, you can always add components or take components out and add new components. It's a
nice feature.
Yeah, it's going to increase the life of the computer that you have. Because eventually you'll just have the case. It'll all be new components, new motherboard, new RAM, new processor, new graphics cards. I mean, you can do all. That's one of the nice things about a desktop PC. Always has been, always will be, and I don't think that's going away. I'm just saying that because people are there are so many people out there who just don't want to do that. They just want to get a system and use it, and they want to look nice on their table, and they don't want wires or cords. They're just selling more of those, and we're seeing other computers like the NUC mini computer from Intel, and also they're getting full-blown computers that plug into they look like a flash drive. but they're
Yeah,
not.
they're getting smaller and smaller, and I definitely want to cap this off at the other side of the hour. And we really need to start announcing winners because we have 3 of them to announce. So we're going to do that on the other side as well.
Yes, we will. All right, you're listening to the Computer America Show, and you're listening to us on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. Ben and I are doing computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. We're going to have more stories. We're going to continue on with this when we come back. We got another brand new News Tips Bulletin review from Marty Winston. That's coming up as well. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Computer America. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering, or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf's staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
What, am I keeping you up late? This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America, this time the Cantech mobile printer stand. We got in the Cantech mobile printer stand for review, and the first thing we need to do is to deal with the M word, mobile. This is not a printer stand for your car, and it isn't for your mobile gear. It's a printer stand, and it has casters, so it's mobile. But let's get more to the point. It's built short, so even with a printer up top, it can scoot under a desk and work from there most to all of the time. You can assemble it to be just under 12 inches or just over 14 inches tall, as your printer height, your desk height, and your preferences may require. There's a shelf underneath for paper or supplies or whatever, and slots on the back edge to help wrangle the cables. It can handle printers up to 75 pounds on its 17 by 13 inch top. Bottom line, the Cantech mobile printer stand frees up space from your desktop, cabinet top, or credenza to put your printer under many desks or work tables with room for it to scoot. This is Marty Winston with the News Tips and Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Here, 33 minutes past the hour. Before we get back to the computer technology news brought to you by Slimmer Utilities, and before we finish up with the whole PC shipments, PC shipments declining, we should really announce the first, and then we'll do the second one in a couple minutes, and the last one before the show ends. The third place winner in our 6-week Logitech contest that just ended this Friday.
Yes, and that's the Logitech HD Webcam C310, valued at $50. Third place prize goes to Linda Shingara. congratulations, Linda. You are a third place prize winner. And she listens to Computer America in Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene, excuse me, Coeur d'Alene. I guess that's in Canada. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, Coeur d'Alene. So where's the 208 area code, Ben? Can you look that
No
up?
idea.
Okay. Anyway, that's where she listens to the show, and she's a third place prize winner. So congratulations to you, Linda. We still have two more winners. So Ben and I are doing the computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, and we're doing about this article about PC shipments.
And one thing, and the last thing I want to point out was this is also not uncommon because of a very important factor that we've been talking a lot on the show about.
What is that?
The more information you start releasing about the next operating system, the more PC sales are going to slump until you actually release said computers. Even though they give you a very clear and very free upgrade path to Windows 10, because Windows 10 was announced, people are waiting until Windows 10 is officially on computers, and then they'll go buy it, and they'll definitely go purchase a new computer. Because why would you go out and buy a Windows 8.1 computer when you can just wait a couple months and get a Windows 10 computer, which Windows 10 is going to stick around for another couple years while Windows 8.1 is on its way out. So again, the more information that is released for Windows 10, I think the bigger the slump in the computer sales.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'll go with that.
So like the slump that they just saw here isn't, it really isn't surprising. And actually the analyst that they have here, Mikako Kitagawa, okay,
Yeah.
he is the principal analyst at Gartner. He said that that desktop PCs are actually supposed to see a 5-year long-term growth, not shrink. So, the year of the PC, or the year of the PC ending, doesn't sound like it's coming anytime soon, or possibly ever.
I'm in agreement with him. And again, he also says that as you mentioned, the Windows 10 should be a net positive because of this pent-up demand for replacements of older PCs. So I think that's also going to be a boost. When is Windows 10 scheduled to come out?
I think the last time we discussed it with I don't know, one of our correspondents, we all kind of settled. Might have been Michael Miller. I think we all kind of settled on late summer.
Okay. Well, I'm curious to see when Windows 10 comes out how that's going to affect PC sales. I think that's
because just like when they announced the new Xbox One, when they announced the new PlayStation 4, when they announced the new Wii U, sales of the previous one slump. Because why would you buy something that's going to be outdated in the foreseeable future when you could just wait a little bit and get the new and future-proof thing?
Well, I'm just answering somebody in the chat room. He says he can't think of a reason why he'd want Windows 10. It's free.
And apparently it's been getting good reviews, so don't knock it till you try it. Apparently a lot of people were knocking Windows 8 before they tried it, with or without justification. But hey, operating system, this one is showing a lot of promise. But yeah, besides the point, back to the main issue. PC shipments are slumping, but that does not mean PC shipments are in trouble by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay, I think we can all concur with that analysis. I think that you're right. All right, Ben and I are doing computer technology, and it is brought to you by Slimware Utilities. And this next story from Maximum PC, security outfit uncovers a new technique for stealing logon info from Windows PCs. It's called redirect to SMB, and according to him, he says it affects all versions of Windows, including Windows 10. Now, he says, obviously they're while in the process of hunting for ways to abuse a chat client feature that provides image previews, which is what I guess security researchers at Cylance say they've stumbled upon a new technique that hackers could use to pluck sensitive login credentials from any Windows PC, tablet, or server, even ones running previews of Windows 10, which I found surprising because I thought they were really beefing up Windows 10 when it comes to security. So this is something, but now that this has been made known, I am sure in the next release of
See, you'd hope so, but at the same time, the article says that it's an old flaw in Windows that was first discovered in 1997.
Yeah, but that was a different Microsoft. That they were relying on antivirus and that was the old Microsoft. I think the new Microsoft, they're really.
I'm glad that they've developed in 18 years, but still, the fact that it's it's still around is bad.
Well, I think at least give them a chance. Now, basically, it's not even. It's not only the operating system, not even Windows. They're saying software from over 30 companies like Adobe, Box, Apple, and others can be exploited with this vulnerability. And according to this story, it allows attackers to steal user credentials by hijacking communications with legitimate web servers by way of man-in-the-middle attacks. And then users are then redirected to malicious SMB servers that extract the victim's username, domain, and hashed password.
Yeah. So it's apparently it's old, and the sad thing is it's not even one that the average consumer can really protect themselves against. It's one that is affected on the server side. It's one that's affected on the server side, on the company side, on the back end, not on the user end. So not really one that you can have antivirus, take care of or anything like that.
Which is why also that why it's that Windows 10 is vulnerable, because again, Windows 10 is on the user side, not necessarily on the server side. So even with the newest, shiniest version of an operating system, that doesn't change the other end.
Yep, and by their way of saying that it's run by over 30 companies, Apple, Adobe, Box, what have you, they all use certain software that lets them communicate with servers and operating systems that is just as susceptible because it has to be written the same way to communicate properly. So it's again, it's not really on the end user side. We should always say, keep an eye on your bank account at all times. Don't just trust that everything's going to be okay. But yeah, this really isn't one for you guys to worry about. This is one for the the IT people at these companies have to worry about.
However, Microsoft in an interview did say that they said that they do have features baked into Windows like extended protection for authentication that adds protection against this sort of thing. So there is that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not really much to say there. Again, it's not really on the user side. It's more on the business side. Hopefully, they'll get a handle on this since they've had a warning since 1997 to work on it. But this other story. Before we jump into how Vizio has just made 4K TVs affordable.
Yes.
Let's announce our second place winner.
Oh, okay. We can do that. All right. All right, this is for the second place winner is for the Logitech G400S gaming mouse. That it's $60, and that winner is Al Wrights. Hey Al, congratulations! You're our second place winner. Al listens to us in Horsham, Pennsylvania. Okay. And congratulations, Al, for being our second place winner here on Computer America. Of course, we still have our grand prize winner. We'll get to that momentarily. So tell me about Vizio's affordable M Series 4K TVs. These look really gorgeous.
Yeah, no. Who knew that technology was going to be so far out there?
Yeah.
Vizio, as you always know, is personally, I want to say budget. Like they're always one of the lowest priced ones, but they always have amazing screen quality for what you're getting. Like, the Sonys and the Samsungs for $3,000 or $4,000. they're obviously going to have a much better picture.
Yeah.
But for the price that you're paying, $300 spent on a Vizio is going to look, very, very nice compared to like $1,000 of any other TV.
Mhm.
And for what you're getting, Vizio has always been the best, bang for your buck. So here comes here comes yet another one, where Vizio today introduced its latest 4K TVs, the M series, uh, with and they. Hmm?
Amazon Mary.
Yep, M as in Mary, and the M range or the M series ranges from $600 for a 43-inch model.
Hmm.
$600 for 43-inch 4K television.
Wow.
That's look back 3 or 4 years, 4K TVs they were selling for $25,000.
Yeah.
And now they have a 43-inch for $600. Crazy good.
Yeah.
And the high end range of the M series is $4,000 for 80 inches.
Hmm.
They said that they're working on refinements, and they're not compromising on the detail to bring the price down even further. And they have that the most of the technology found in the P series has made its way into the M series. It has an LED panel, low latency HDMI, and plenty of other things.
Now that low latency HDMI port is evidently a feature for gamers, and they say loved by gamers. Why?
Gamers love their 1 to 4 millisecond response time. They love that.
And that's what you get with low latency HDMI.
Low latency generally refers to anything under 10 millisecond response time. So when you move a mouse, when you stroke a key, go through the through your computer to the signal to your television and back.
Mm-hmm.
The quicker that is, the more responsive you are, the better off you are in gaming. It's very important.
Now, are these using the new quantum dot technology, or is that
highly? They said that the UHD TV sets look great in person. They're thin, solid, industrial design. Blah blah blah. If you like what you see, as I said, they're probably in retailers all around the world. Most of the time, I see them in Sam's Club or Costco's, what have you. They always have them on display. No mention here of the quantum dot technology. So they're 4K. I don't think they're UHD 4K.
Okay.
I think they're just the aspect ratio, and then they're probably HD. I'm sorry. They're 4K ultra high definition. So yeah, I don't think they're quantum dot, but they're definitely ultra high definition, which is nice.
I think Samsung just introduced the quantum dot.
Yeah, that's just working its way into the market, whereas 4K is apparently just now with Vizio barely getting into the sub 1,000 territory, or sub 1,000.
No, the quantum dots they can still be 4K TVs. It's one is resolution, one has nothing to the other. With the quantum dot is just
quantum dot has to do with the sharpness and the color and the clarity, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But the quantum dot technology is only going to be found in the newer, more expensive models.
At least for now.
At least for now. So when I say it's only found in the upper, like not in these 4Ks, not because it's 4K or quantum dot. I'm saying that it's because these are sub 1,000 TVs. Therefore, they're not going to have all the bells and whistles of an obviously superior $25,000 Sony or Samsung television.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, obviously, this next story again. I got a call from my friend Robert, and he says, "Did you get your order in?" I said, "Order in for what?" He says, "I got my order in already for my Apple Watch." And I went, "Okay." He's already signed up for it. He was telling me. But according to this story from CNET, all signs point to 1 million Apple Watch pre-orders.
Oof.
Yeah, and Robert's one of them. Okay.
one of them, 1 in a million.
Yeah, exactly.
How special.
Yeah.
No, but it makes complete sense because since we did that story a little while ago, that the only way to get an Apple Watch isn't like you can't just walk into an Apple store and say, "Hey, give me an Apple Watch," slap it on my wrist. You have to pre-order it.
Yeah, you did.
You have to say where you're going and what model you want, and then you go in and you pick it up in store. It's not something that you can buy off the shelf. So 1 million pre-orders, not that bad for, something that you can buy off the shelf, but pretty standard for something that you can only get through pre-ordering.
And not only that, if you want to get to the gold one, that's even more selective. When you order the gold one, because not all Apple stores are going to carry the gold watch. Okay, they're not. They're just not. So the thing is, you tell them they'll either direct you to the store that's nearest by, or what they'll do is they'll have it sent to the store where you're going to be, which is kind of interesting.
I think I'm going to go through, see how far I can get in the Apple Store.
Yeah.
Purchasing the 42 millimeter 18 karat yellow gold case with black sport band Apple Watch. It starts at $12,000. Let's see how far I can get before it tells me to pay up and go away.
Well, that's if you that's without the mesh band. If you want to get the mesh band, I mean, that's also gold. It's going to. Robert didn't like the mesh band. He tried it on, and he said that it had an extra loop in there or something that made it uncomfortable. So he didn't go for the mesh band. He said on top of that, it was another $300 for the stainless steel mesh band, which is almost as costly as the watch itself. The band. So he got the sports band for it. I said, but don't worry. I said, because you can put any band on the watch. You can always take that off and put the mesh one on if you change your mind and decide to order it later on. But he went ahead and ordered it. So, but again, this article from CNET that we're talking about, if you haven't ordered your Apple Watch, the pre-orders are still in effect. I think April. When is it? When they actually when they actually go live? I think it's April 24th when you'll actually can go into the store and actually purchase one.
Yep.
He got the 42 millimeter because there's two sizes: the 38 millimeter for women or the 42 millimeter. And I said, why didn't you get? Because he has a very small wrist. I said, why didn't you go with the 38 millimeter? He says, no. He says because I want that extra space. I need the extra screen size. So he went for that. But here's the thing: the price tags go from $349 to $17,000. That's for the 18 karat yellow gold or rose gold. $17,000. I assume that's with the mesh band.
Mesh band and the Apple Watch edition, the Apple Care Plus, which is another $1,600.
Well, you have to get Apple Care. I mean, there's no question about it. You're going to get this watch, and then after a year, because it's only a 1-year warranty. If you don't get Apple Care, after a year, your watch is toast.
Yeah, the Apple Care Plus goes for 3 years, and it's an extra $1,600. I figured, hey, if I'm going big, I might as well get 2 Apple Gold watches. So, oh, never mind, kicked me out. It knew I was lying to it. So, but yeah, between the Apple Watch costing $12,000, the clasp, the wrist, whatever the band would have you, another $5,000 on top of that, and then the Apple Care another $2,000 on top of that, $17,000.
How many watches do you think Apple is going to make this year?
I if I'm being honest here, they're probably not going to stock their stores with many of them. Like they're obviously doing only pre-orders to begin with, and then I think they're going to kind of gauge the market as to the pre-orders and see where they're selling. Like if they're selling a lot in New York, they'll probably stock up the Apple stores in New York with a couple watches. If they're selling in California, if they're selling in Miami, they'll stock up where the pre-orders are most heavily concentrated, and then they'll have a few in store just to try on. But honestly, I don't see them making more than a couple million because they're probably still going to heavily favor the online ordering method than the walk into a store and purchase one method.
Well, according to KeyBank analysts, they said that Apple is actually gearing up to produce up to 20 million Apple Watches just for this calendar year alone.
See, I don't see them selling that many.
Yeah. Fortress in the chat room says Apple Care is to watch your watch.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. 20 million watches.
And apparently, also according to the CNN article, each Apple Watch buyer actually purchased 1.3 watches.
How do you figure that?
Because there's apparently one in every, I guess, 4 people actually ordered a second watch.
Oh my!
Maybe for their wife, maybe for a present for someone. But
We can have 2-car families. We have two TVs in the home.
you too could be a 2-watch family.
Or a 1.3 watch anyway.
Yeah. the ritziest of the rich. It's a 2-watch family.
Yeah, it is. I guess we should do our grand prize winner now.
I think we should.
We should, because okay. All right, this is the grand prize. This is for the Logitech X300 mobile wireless stereo speaker. Fits in the palm of your hand, valued at $70. And that's going to go to Philip Pfeiffer.
All right.
Phil Pfeiffer, congratulations to you. You're our grand prize winner. Philip listens to us in North Las Vegas. I didn't realize they had a North Vegas and a South Vegas, but North Las Vegas.
Yes, the rare and elusive other Vegases. There's people only know of the Strip, but hey, there's other Vegases.
Evidently there is. So he's a grand prize winner. So again, congratulations to Linda Shingara, who listens in Coeur d'Alene. By the way, this is Idaho, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I was wrong. It's not Canada. It's in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Yep.
Okay. She wins the Logitech HD Webcam C310. Our second place winner is Al Reitz, listens to us in Horsham, Pennsylvania. He wins the Logitech G400S gaming mouse, valued at $60. And again, our grand prize winner, Philip Pfeiffer, listens to us in North Las Vegas, Nevada. He wins the Logitech X300 mobile wireless stereo speakers, valued at $70. Congratulations to all of you. Thanks for entering a contest. And our new contest opens up tonight. As I said, we'll update the screen after tonight's show, and we'll get that updated so it reflects the new dates. But it is definitely open. Head over to computeramerica.com, enter in all of our contests. You'll have a lot of fun doing so. Who knows, you might win something really, 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 really nice. Okay, just like our 3 winners did tonight here on Computer America. Congratulations to all of you. Okay, I don't know if we have time to do another. We don't really have time to do another story, do we?
No, I don't think we do. What's coming up tomorrow night?
All right, well, let's see who's coming up tomorrow night. Oh, well, come on. It's our Gamer Tuesday night, okay? Josh Boykin is going to be here.
Oh, yeah, it is the second Tuesday of the month.
Yeah, Josh Boykin's going to be here. He is taking the place of Grayson Hamilton, our former gamer correspondent who was with us for over 2 years. Grayson says he might come back later on. He's just got so much to do right now. But Josh Boykin is an editor-at-large at PopZera magazine, very knowledgeable in games, and he's going to be joining us for tomorrow. And some of the things he's going to be talking about is Bloodborne, the new action RPG from software developers Dark Souls.
Yes, that's been making a lot of waves. It's a very, very nice game. Can't wait to talk about that.
Now it's it's called an ERPG?
No, just an RPG.
Okay, so where did I get the E from? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know what that came from.
Bloodborne, if you remember, we actually mentioned their promo. It was in the Netherlands, I want to say, where they were giving away a chance to win Bloodborne with every blood donation.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
At the college campus.
Yeah, I remember that. And it was doing very, very well, too.
Yep.
Other topics we're going to be talking about is gaming on the cheap. He's going to talk about how to get more for your gaming dollar, which is going to be interesting. He's going to talk like bundle sites for the PCs and games with gold for Microsoft.
90 seconds.
And PlayStation.
Games with gold for Microsoft. Everyone who has a Microsoft Gold account can get free and or really, really cheap games that can be very enjoyable. So I'm sure we're going to talk about that.
Yep.
And the PlayStation Plus for Sony, they tend to give away free games.
Right, exactly. And then also Nintendo allows players to vote for new Smash Brothers characters. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh, I remember that. That was getting silly.
Yeah.
Because you could vote for anything and anyone to be a new Smash Bros. Character.
And then we also have a mobile review from Steven Universe, Attack the Light. You know, we've got hardware reviews, all that's coming up tomorrow night. It's our Gamer Tuesday night with Josh Boykin, editor-at-large at Pop Zara Magazine. You know, be there.
Finally, someone else I can rub my graphics card in their face with.
Yes, virtually, but you can do that.
I enjoy doing it.
Good. Again, thanks to all of you for being here on tonight's show, and again from Nootrobox, talking about their nootropics drugs. And thanks to all of you for listening. And Ben and I will see you tomorrow night. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman, hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, everyone.
Seconds.
The automation is
Thank you
off
for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
What did you say?
I said I think the automation's off a little bit.
No, that was my fault. I'll tell you what happened.
So the Craig is off a bit. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, it was from the recording we did this afternoon. I forgot to put the newer schedule. I had the old schedule up.
Good.
So the automation didn't take place. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching us on our Google Hangouts or live Computer America video stream. Again, it's Gamer Tuesday tomorrow night. Hopefully you all will be with us with Josh Boykin. We'll see you tomorrow night. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.